You're watching Sterling High School Channel 19, serving Hynella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford. Mobile television production facilities for this broadcast are made possible by a grant from Walmart. Walmart, with their location on the Whitehorse Pike in Summerdale.
Kickoff of the 2019 season just about underway. Sterling going to host the crosstown rival Triton Mustangs. Glad you joined us here on Channel 19 for the season and home opener. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, and John Hallwood. We mentioned the weather earlier. Weather being affected by Hurricane Dorian about 200 miles off the coast. 65 degrees, very un-September-like. Winds are going to play a factor, definitely in the kicking, the passing game, and a little bit of rain as we walked in here, light rain as we were walking into the booth for tonight's contest.
Well, guys, you're looking at, again, a Sterling team that we talked about that's very young. They have a lot of sophomores playing, a lot of starters that are starting for the first time. So it's going to be interesting to see how they'll react. And, again, as we talked about before, how quickly they get into that comfort zone.
Sterling will kick off to start this game, which means they will receive the second half kickoff. We're going to see the Sterling defense right away. Fans starting to get into it, as well they should. Late arriving crowd here. A lot of students here tonight, which is good. It's only the second day of school, so it's nice to see a good crowd here tonight.
If the rain holds up, this is great weather, like when you're talking about the breeze, and especially we're talking about when you have some of these guys that are playing on both sides of the ball for either team.
Kickoff taken at about the 5-yard line by Triton. Nice move, almost a face mask. Ball comes out, and I think Sterling may have gotten it. It's Kai Guyette. Did he cough it up? No, it looks like Triton recovered. Coach Harris ran out onto the field at about the 25-yard line. That ball definitely popped out, but somebody with a white jersey there to pounce on it.
And that's a booming kick right there, bringing them all the way back, and makes it so much harder when you're catching it, going back as opposed to catching it, getting momentum. Just a great job by the coverage team, coming down, staying in their lanes and making a play, burying Triton fairly deep in their own end.
Handoff to Joe Ruber right up the middle on 1st and 10, gets out to about the 20. And a short gain of about 4.
Triton, the type of team that looks to establish that ground game. And I know last year was a 26-6 score, but at times in that game, they were able to get their ground game going. And that's something, if they want to stay in this game, stay tight with Sterling, they're going to have to do.
Sean Coleman, the senior, under center on 2nd down and about 5. Sterling almost jumps, handoff off the right side. Sterling equal to the task. That'll bring up 3rd down. Very short gain, if any at all.
And Rob, this job you're seeing by the defensive line is what we talked about in that Delran scrimmage, where they did everything they needed to do to hold R.J. Moten only to a couple yards. Again, a kid who's a Division I running back, and deservedly so, dynamic, but Sterling did the job, and you're seeing early on here they're really doing what they need to do to stuff this running game.
3rd down and 5 on Triton's opening drive. They go with a 1 receiver set to the near side. They put 1 man in motion. Back to pass is Coleman. Looks across the middle. Has it complete the room, but Sterling sniffs it out, and it's a loss on the play. It'll bring up 4th down and the punt team.
Well, good job of reading and reacting. And whenever I see something like that, I go back. Even a screen, you don't see that as much. But, this team is conditioned to read, play good pass defense, and react the way you need to react right there. Great gang tackling. Great job getting a lot of people to that point where the ball was caught by the back.
Triton going to kick into a 15-mile-an-hour breeze with gusts to about 20. Sterling returner set at about the 50, and that's going to be about a 20-yard punt. Down at the 35-yard line, so exceptional field position for Sterling to start their first drive of the season.
And I'm going to change that. You asked me about who would you rather have get the ball. Well, in hindsight, looking back now, it couldn't have worked out better for Sterling. Like you said, with the wind in Triton's face and the field position situation the way it is right now, Sterling just starting out with outstanding field position. And I'll go back to that kickoff where they were deep in their own end, got them deep in their own end, and the coverage job that you saw from Sterling on it.
Handoff. Going to go this time to David Barber, name we did not call at all last year. Feature back now for Sterling in the starting offense. And Barber able to gain about 5 out to the 30.
Yeah, Dave Barber, a kid that does a good job staying low, lowering the shoulders and taking people with him on that run right there and getting about 5.
2nd down and 5. Ball placed at the 30. 9:30 remaining here in this opening quarter. Thompson going to hand off to Jacob Johnson. Johnson gets a first down as he's across the 25-yard line, close to the 20, and they're going to move the chains for him.
Of course, we saw Jacob Johnson at the linebacker position last year. Did a good job also at times in the backfield. And that's a real nice job up front, taking the linebackers out of the play right there and giving Johnson some room.
1st and 10 from the 21. Man in motion is the aforementioned Johnson. And a quick handoff up the middle. Really not much there for Sterling. 2nd down and long.
And Rob, this is a Sterling team that has the sophomore class is very dynamic in the way they could throw the ball, spread things out. But just like any team, they're looking to establish the run, keep things simple up front, and really set up the pass off of that.
2nd down and 9. Under center is Jeremiah Thompson, the sophomore quarterback. Handoff, the sweep to the near side. Cutting back inside is Shane L. inside the 10 down to about the 8.
Well, Shane L., probably the MVP of the defense last year from the safety position, and we've seen him before play offense. Not a lot last year, but this is a kid who can get upfield in a hurry. Once he gets to the outside, if he gets a little bit of room, he can square the shoulders up and can really accelerate. One of the fastest kids on the team. You really saw it right there.
1st and goal now for Sterling at the Triton 9. Impressive first drive here with the wind at their back. They give it to the man in motion. That's Larry Williams. Not to be confused with the Penn State Larry Williams. Nice gain there by Williams. And a pickup of about 7.
Yeah, real impressive job by the offensive line, like I was talking about before, taking linebackers out of the play, sealing things off on the runs to the outside. Right there, off tackle, creating a real nice hole. We had a great view of that, Rob. Really had a nice hole off to the left side. Showed great acceleration and getting upfield.
2nd down and goal for Sterling at the Mustang 2. Everybody in tight here for Sterling. And a beautiful tackle. I think that's Shane L. on the carry. And a beautiful tackle there by Deshaun Parker, the senior. Read it perfectly and almost took the handoff.
Yeah, that's a big play there for Triton early on in this game. And
believe it or not, actually gained a yard. And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1, but you're looking at 4 downs here regardless.
Yeah. This is where you want to take advantage of the big bodies you have up front.
Handoff again goes this time to David Barber, who had the first carry of the game. Triton saying the ball came out. No sign from the official. And they do turn it over. Barber fumbles at the 1, and Triton takes over.
Now, tough break there for Sterling, and this is where the defense has got to come out and do what they did.
And we're getting a look at
The
it
last
here.
possession.
And I believe that his knee was down. Take a look at it here on replay. You'll see the right knee, I believe, of David Barber. Watch right here as he gets into the scrum there. No, it's a left knee. Left knee is down. I don't
Yeah.
even see the ball.
Wow.
And then stripped out late.
It did appear like they reacted late, too.
The 8-yard line.
Don't have the value of a coach's challenge here at the high school level. But if you did, that's one you definitely would
That's
use
a
to
tough
throw the
one.
red flag on.
Yep. Now somebody on defense has got to make a play.
7-yard gain on first down brings up a 2nd down and 3 from the Triton 8. And they're very fortunate to walk out of here with the ball in their hands and still no points on the board. Another run close to a first down. If not, I believe he did get it.
I think he's got it.
Move the chains. Needed 3. Probably got about 3.5.
Well, I got to give credit to Triton. I mean, they got a break, and they took advantage of it, getting the ball deep in their own end of the field, struggling to gain yardage the first time they got the ball. But, boy, from a momentum standpoint, that's a huge first down for Triton.
Fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from their own 13 are the Mustangs. And a whistle on the field. And they're going to move the ball. They're going to get a dry ball here.
What's up, Greg? How you doing? Good.
I think they're checking the ball.
This is not Deflategate.
You beat me to it.
Nonetheless, they're going to wind the clock at just about 5.5 minutes remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Fumble again. Ball comes out, falls right in the hands of Deshaun Parker, who advances the ball close to a first down. That ball popped right up in the air, and everything going Triton's way early on.
And Sterling,
Wow.
Sterling almost had that, and that's the opportunities that you need to grab on. See,
Boy, that's
Went right over the head of Rashawn McQueen, the junior defensive lineman. Popped right over his head and couldn't react quick enough.
Yeah, that is just a tough break. Boy, that was a big hit right there.
Helmet right on the ball, too, right there.
A couple things haven't gone Sterling's way, and I think, this is a situation where you just got to get everybody together. They're doing that right now, and talking to everybody, calm everybody down, and just say to them, hey, if we play the way we know to play, don't try to do too much. You know your assignments. We can turn this around, but a couple breaks for Triton here early on, leading to getting them out of a hole there with deep field position in their own end of the field.
Parker advances the loose ball just enough for a first down, and now the Mustangs on the move. So this drive started at their own 1. Now it's 1st and 10 at their own 23. 5 minutes remaining, and another handoff slipping on the play. I believe that's Michael Caserta on the carry. The senior slips before the line of scrimmage. He'll lose about 3.
and I think this rain is actually starting to play a factor into this.
Back to the 19-yard line.
Well, light
Well,
mist
that's guys.
out
That's
there.
a real good job of penetration. But that was Larry Williams right there. When you're struggling, you need somebody to make a play. You need something to happen in that way with Larry Williams gaining penetration and making a play in the backfield.
First penalty of the season, thrown by the official closest to the Triton sideline. Appears to be another penalty marker thrown. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike, as one of the players there having words, and I think that's Sean Coleman had some words for the official, and I think he said the wrong one. There's some magic words you can say. He must have said the one.
Good teams take advantage of breaks. Teams that are struggling do what you just see right there, and that's just a mental error. That's really taking the momentum away from your offense that you work so hard to develop.
So the 2 penalties against Triton will back the ball up inside the 10, close to the 5.
2 flags on the field by Triton. First one is on
And now Sterling's going to have to definitely take advantage from Triton's mistakes.
2nd down and a mile for Triton. Ball at their own 8. Again, this drive started at their own 1 after the fumble. Well, reverse. Sterling defense all over it for little to no gain at all. The entire defense swarms on the Mustangs for a short gain, if anything at all.
And I talked about it before. I think gain and penetration was a big part of what Williams was able to do a couple plays ago. And right there, that's just a great job of team defense. You get in the backfield, force things back to the middle, allow your linebackers to make the play. That's exactly how you have to do that. And as this game goes on, the more guys that are involved and going to the point of attack, not trying to do too much. You try to do too much, you get out of your lane, you get out of position, but stay in your lanes, cover, and I think they have the ability to do what they need to do on the defensive side of the ball.
3rd down and 24. They're going to try and pass. Back in trouble is Coleman. Dumps it off complete. This time has his man, Deshaun Parker, and I believe he's ineligible because there's a flag on the field. And that will back them up again. They could decline this and just make Triton punt.
Some of the Sterling's going to say safety, one of them.
Because if he's in the end zone and I don't know. Officials are meeting and talking about it. I guess it depends on where Coleman threw the ball.
Well, regardless of what happened, this is a good job of the defense coming out and picking up the offense after the tough break at the goal line. And, that's what good teams do, especially early on in the year when you're going to have mistakes like that, have things happening. Obviously, we didn't even get the benefit of the doubt of the call where the knee was down. We saw on the replay.
Get the call from the official. It's an illegal touching penalty against Triton. And it's a loss of down. They're going to put the ball inside the 5. It will be 4th down and forever. Take another look at it here on replay. Let's see where Coleman threw the ball.
I swear to God, I told Kayla to talk to you. I was like, yo, bro, go talk to her.
Sterling has 2 returners, one in Brandon Grace on their side. And that ball is loose, and that will be a safety.
Safety.
Sterling, special teams, forces the first points of the season, and it's 2-0 Sterling.
Boy, you talk about penetration, and you talk about a play that just picks up the whole sidelines. Guys, you look over there, we have it on the camera. Boy, they've really turned things around. Again, I got to go back to what we did on the defensive side of the ball, ended up with what they were able to do here on special teams. Let's look at the replay. See how many guys were in there on the block. That punter, poor guy from Triton, really never had a shot.
If you would have told me that we would have started this season with a score of 2-0.
Well, if you're Triton, though, you look at this as this is probably the best case scenario because if you blocked it, could have the touchdown, or if somehow they got it out to the 1 or 2 yard line, you're probably going to score at that point. So 2 points gives you the kickoff, and you're going to be able to get the ball, hopefully for Triton, on the Sterling end of the field. But in any event, again, just a great job of the defense turning things around from a momentum standpoint.
As per the rules, Sterling will receive the punt from Triton right now. They will punt it from the 20.
And Rob, we talked about different things that are going to get the nerves out, make you feel more comfortable playing at the varsity level. An effort like that really makes you feel comfortable. I think, not just any individual player, but from the standpoint of the entire defense, what they were able to do as a team on defense.
They'll actually kick it off from the 20. Sterling going to move their return men back to their own 35. Wind right in the face. High end over end kick taken at about the 40 on the run by Shane L. Shane across 50, across the 40, and down at the 39-yard line. Brandon Grace getting into it on the return with Justin Conti, but Brandon Grace wisely walks away from it.
Yeah, Brandon Gray's going right to the whistle. But well, you look at Shane L., that's exactly what you have to do. You got to attack that, get the ball in the run. And he gets upfield on that kickoff as well as anybody. We saw him last year get some kickoffs. He doesn't go left or right. He goes right up the gut and almost broke a couple last year.
1st and 10 for Sterling. Ball at the Mustang 40. Back to pass. Thompson has the man complete in Estremera for the first down across the 30 down to the 29.
Yeah, that's going to be a connection you're going to see a lot this year. Jeremiah Thompson just taking that two-step drop. And what you get from Mike Estremera, guys, we even saw it last year as a freshman. Not only the ability to catch, and has great hands, but the ability to turn upfield and go. Did as a freshman, and he's only going to be that much better this year.
You can see the rain pouring in now from the lights on 1st and 10. Carry to one of the upbacks. I believe that's Jameer Richardson, one of the bigger backs, a sophomore, 6 foot 220, and you can really see the rain starting to pour in here at Sterling.
Jameer Richardson, brother of Greg Harris, a real good running back we had from a few years ago. A kid who's got a real good, real strong base, lower body, one of the strongest guys on the team from what he brings to the table.
2nd down and 7. Ball at the 26. It's about 2.5 minutes remaining. Handoff going to Larry Williams. Off the left side. Short gain for Williams.
One thing that's definitely been effective for Sterling right now has been going through the outside of Triton's defense. Just going out brilliant for them.
Yeah, John, they definitely have the advantage, and they're going to win that race to the edge when you have kids with the speed that their backs have.
Definitely like someone with Shane L.
3rd down and 3 for Sterling. Ball in about the 23-yard line. They give it off the right side for the first down. A host of Triton tacklers there. And a beautiful run there by Jameer Richardson, who's getting into the offensive action for the Knights.
And that's that quick hitting run there where you see Richardson line up fairly close to the line, get the ball in a hurry. And we always talk about offensive linemen love those types of plays because you don't have to hold your block that long.
They move the chains, 1st and 10 from the 16 for Sterling. Thompson under center, going to put Schulz in motion. Lines up as a tight end on the left-hand side of the line. Handoff this time to Williams off the left side, and Triton all over it this time. We've said it a couple times tonight. Desan Parker, the senior, playing both sides of the ball tonight and making his presence known.
Well, the plays that get to the outside very quickly, Strong's had some success with. We talked about their ability to have success on those dives up the middle, but plays that take a little bit of time to develop. We've seen a couple times where the linebackers have been able to penetrate and make a play. There you saw a defensive lineman get in there and make a play before he was able to get upfield.
2nd and 14, under 40 seconds left to go in the quarter. Back to pass. Thompson connects with Schulz inside the 10, down to about the 5. That'll make you happy, Dad.
Obviously, I like the play call there. Well, they have Schulz come underneath coverage, and a lot of times when you've got a tight end coming underneath coverage, in most cases, high school defensive backs or linebackers, you know, they lose track of that person coming underneath. The big thing is on that play is to have the lineman give Thompson time, and boy, we got another fumble.
Ball comes out again on 1st and goal from the 4, and Triton recovers it.
Wow.
Hard to see who came up with the fumble.
Well, right now you're looking at Sterling,
That ball was on
a
the
team
ground
that should
from the
be up by
beginning.
2 scores right now.
Hard to see what number that is that came up with the fumble. Let's say 49. Could be Vince Speakman. Nonetheless, it's been a sloppy game. We saw this last night in the Thursday night football
Just checking
game.
to see.
It was not a great start to the game or great game for either team. And that NFL season opener last night between the Packers and the Bears, 10-3 the final. Here we are at the end of the first quarter. Sterling leading 2-0. We'll get off to a quick break, come back, Second quarter action, Sterling leading by a safety, 2-0 after 1 right here on Sterling TV 19. Two nothing after the first quarter on a safety forced by the Sterling special teams. They'll switch ends in a rainy season opener here from Sterling High School. A little confusion there on offense for Triton after the timeout, and that play goes nowhere. It's going to bring up a third down.
Well, the defense has stepped up on both occasions where you had the turnovers, and here they are again in a situation where they've got to come to the rescue.
Tackles made for a loss of 2. Third down.
Sterling holds them here. They can hopefully try to get another safety out of this.
We don't have total yardage for these teams, but Triton seems to be going backwards. They're probably a negative yardage or close to it here for this game so far. Handoff, Shaynell just misses the tackle, but a beautiful tackle before the sticks by Sterling, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
And that was one of the few times you saw them get penetration and not make the play. That's just a nice individual effort by the Triton back just to get away from pressure in the backfield and get upfield for a little bit. But in any event, they're going to punt. Sterling again in position to get great field position.
They switch ends, so Sterling, and a ball again comes out, and Sterling will take over inside the 10.
Yeah, I think it's clear right now, guys, we're seeing the effect of having a wet ball and how it's affecting what they're doing. Yeah, you see them slipping all over the place. So, you know, the encouraging thing about that is I like what Sterling's doing in their ground game on offense, and you know, I think that's going to be the way to go moving forward here as long as you're seeing this rain come down.
Wasn't watching the ball either, too.
So Sterling, excellent field position inside the Mustang 10. Thompson under center. Two backs in the backfield. They're going to put one in motion. Handoff off the left side. Penalty marker thrown as Williams tries to get to the goal line. He will be short. And we'll take a look at the penalty.
That might be on Sterling. Definitely
That came from that referee on that far side.
Both teams, not exactly a clean game here so far tonight, Kevin. A lot of it has to do with the field conditions, I would imagine.
That's it. That's one of those calls. It's kind of strange. It was from the ref furthest away from the play. So
Sterling is backed up and
see that
huddled
a
up
whole
around their
lot.
25.
First down, 18 yards to go. The 18.
First and goal from the 18. Thompson under center. Roll out to his right, looking to pass. Cuts it back inside, now passes across the middle. Caught by Estremera for the touchdown. An 18-yard strike from Thompson to Estremera, and Sterling gets their first touchdown of 2019.
And what a job of Jeremiah Thompson going to the right side, fighting off pressure, readjusting himself, looking off to the right initially, then finding his favorite target, Mike Estremera, for the touchdown.
Great job by Jeremiah Thompson, the sophomore, to elude a would-be tackler, cut it back inside, and find Estremera in the middle of the end zone.
And getting hit right after making the throw. But, guys, that's the key at the quarterback position, to maneuver, but keep your eyes downfield. Don't get your eyes caught up looking at defensive ends. Keep them downfield. And that's what Thompson was able to do there.
Now, Sterling's definitely going to be kicking in the wind for the first time, so this is going to be definitely challenging.
Snap the hold, the kick is up, the kick is no good. So Sterling will lead this one 8-0 with 18 left to go in the second quarter.
Not a bad job of defending that play by Triton. Again, I think that was just a great play by Thompson, because Triton did what you need to do. You see the quarterback roll out, you contain him with the ends, force him to the inside. You had somebody in there to make the play, but Thompson did a great job of evading him. And, of course, you saw him right as the camera moved away, getting hit as he threw. Great job by Thompson on the throw and maneuvering back there, and an even better job by Estremera with the catch.
He almost slipped during that play, too. He almost slipped.
And those guys play a lot of 7-7, have been throwing each other forever, and I think you really saw that there. Thompson just having a sense the entire time of knowing where Estremera is on the field, and he was able to get him for 6.
Finally, Sterling capitalizes and puts one in the end zone. But it's still, technically, Kevin, a one-possession game, if you think about it.
Well, this is a situation, obviously right now, you take the turnovers out of it, Sterling would be up there outplaying Triton. But this is where you got to keep the pedal to the metal. Keep pushing away. And as a young team with a lot of new starters, that's something that isn't as easy as you think.
On to kick off, Dylan Jess from their own 40. High end over end kick right in the middle of the field, taken at the 17, falls on the ground again. Sterling takes the opportunity to swallow up the returner shy of the 35-yard line. And on the return, that is Kai Gayet. Went right through the wickets.
They're definitely not used to playing in with the rain right now, because just dropping it.
First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 25. This is their best starting field position of the game for them. Handoff right up the middle, diving across for a couple extra yards is Braden King, the freshman, on the carry.
For a minute, I thought they were not going to get that handoff off. I thought that was going to be a fumble again.
Again, you see penetration, hit King a little bit low. You saw him go for the arm tackle, and he's able to get a few more yards than you'd think in that situation. That's where you got to lower the shoulder into a kid like that.
The athleticism of King, able to dive ahead for an extra couple yards. 2nd down and 6. In trouble. Passing into flat. Almost picked off on the near side. 2 defenders there. More notably, Jacob Johnson almost had a pick 6.
Well, there's the team defense we're talking about. Great pressure on the quarterback, and even better job in the defensive backfield of coverage. And Rob, that's where I go back to the 7-on-7s in the summertime. Your first thought is, hey, it's going to help the offense, it's going to help our passing game. But there's where you saw it really made a mark what they were able to do on the defensive side of the ball there.
Incompletion brings up a 3rd down and a long 6 at about the 28. Coleman under center. Going to put Stano in motion. Coleman rushing out to his left, looking for somebody. He's going to keep that himself. Coleman shy of the 1st down. That ball may have come out again. Sterling saying it did, but I think his knee was down about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Penalty marker comes in late. And if that is against Sterling, because that was after the whistle, that will make it a 1st down.
I think that might be a late tackle on the quarterback.
I think there was a little bit of extracurricular activity there. Somebody took a swing at somebody, and unfortunately, I think it's going to go against Sterling.
Here comes the call from the lead official. On sportsmanlike conduct against Sterling, and that will march off 15 yards in the right direction if you're a Mustang fan. Coleman decides to keep it himself there. Knee down. That ball, that's close too.
Man, look at the opportunity. Wow.
Hard to tell if the knee was down before the ball came out.
I mean, Sterling, if they did call it football, Sterling would get the ball.
Before the play whistles, before the play even happened. And it's going to be a dead ball false start penalty against Triton. And that'll back them up 5 yards.
Now we've seen Triton do this for the second time where they got the benefit of the doubt of a penalty. It moves them upfield, and they counter that with a penalty.
1st and 15, ball at the 44. Just about 9 minutes left to go in the half. Sterling leading 8-0. Coleman hands it off right up the middle, close to midfield before being tackled. And that is King again, the freshman on the carry, a couple yards shy of midfield. You can take a look at the weather. Really, we mentioned the light rain on the way in, a little misty. Now it's coming down in sheets right now, and it's almost sideways.
Yeah, and we always worry about how this field's going to react to any type of rain once it starts getting just a little bit substantial.
Some heavy rain the other night, but not a lot of rain before that. In the backfield, swallowed up. Sterling defense all over it. Tackled by Rashawn McQueen, among others. Loss of 4. That's McQueen, the junior. 5'10", 205.
Rashawn McQueen right there. You know, we've seen that time and time again. Sterling has bottled up that running game of Triton with the great penetration. You see that right there from the McQueen. A lot of quickness.
3rd and 14. Coleman gonna operate with one receiver to the near side. Sterling almost jumps. They get back. And now it's gonna be interesting to see which way this one goes. Was the offensive line baited over by the Sterling jump?
They're gonna call it on Sterling.
Yes, they are. So instead of 3rd and 14, it's gonna be 3rd and 9. Right at midfield. Take one more look at it here. Left side of the line moves for Sterling.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Just got to be more disciplined there.
So Coleman will operate on a more manageable 3rd and 9, 7:30 left to go in the half. Trailing by 8. One receiver to the near side. They're going to put a man in motion. It's Taino. Coleman hands off, penalty marker thrown. And the handoff goes into Sterling territory down at about the 45, but let's take a look at the penalty. This has been a lot of dirty laundry on the field here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the penalty, but they waving it off?
No, illegal shift, I believe. So that will back up the Mustangs 5 yards back to, so that Sterling gets it back, what they gave up. And now it'll go back to 3rd and 14 from the 45.
You know what? I hate to. This is probably a 2-down situation for Triton because with all the trouble they've had with punting and the rain coming down even heavier now, I think they're going to get 2 downs out. If I'm Triton, I probably don't want to punt right here.
See what they pick up.
Get the 4th down.
See what they pick up here on 3rd and 14 as we approach the 7-minute mark of the half. Coleman will misdirection. And Sterling defense all over it. Beautiful tackle there by Shane L. for a gain of about 4. So let's see what Triton does here. They do have the wind at their back, and they could punt this one away and pin Sterling deep, but it appears that they are going to go for it.
Now you saw great containment right there, and Shane L. taking care of business on the cutback. I know we're at the risk of being repetitive, we're seeing great team defense here from Sterling, and we're also seeing a front that's very athletic.
4th and 10 for the Mustangs. They snap it quickly. Coleman looking to pass. He's in trouble, and he's going to be spun down. Ball comes out. Does he jump on top of it? Sterling, do they have it? Either way, Sterling's going to get great field position inside the Mustang 35.
Wow. And we got it looks like a flag down there. I thought, yeah, for a minute there, I thought Sterling almost had a face mask.
So a penalty marker on the field. Let's take another look at it.
Number
Okay,
2,
no face
yeah,
mask.
face. They might call that.
If this is a face mask penalty, Kevin,
Yeah, I don't think
it's a good,
on the replay. Yeah, he had a shirt. I thought he possibly had the face mask, but
No, I'm thinking they're calling it on the quarterback. I don't think they're going to call anything.
interesting here because the ball was clearly out. We've eliminated the face mask penalty. Another unsportsmanlike penalty, and if that's against Coleman, that's his second.
yeah, Triton right now is just becoming unraveled.
Let's see if we can find out where the penalty is. Maybe kicking after the fumble recovery. Nonetheless, Sterling takes over 1st and 10. Straight up the middle. Big man. That is Jameer Richardson. Penalty marker
Man
comes
down.
in.
Got a man down, 76.
That's
There you
still-
see the
it's still a
power in
test.
the lower part of the body. We see Coach over here raising the arm of Jameer Richardson, and that's the weightlifting, Coach, taking effect right there.
Coach loves it.
These guys spend a ton of time in the weight room. And boy, it paid off there, and that little run after the whistle, but it did still show you a lot of power there by Jameer Richardson.
And that's going to be another penalty for Triton.
Illegal hands against Triton. That will march the ball inside the 10. Inside the 10. Let's see where they place the ball. Inside the 5 now. 1st and goal from inside the 5. Sterling a chance to break this one wide open here as Triton has done nothing offensively. Back to pass. Thompson looking end zone and bobbled. Penalty marker thrown. That's going to be pass interference. And that's going to go against Kai Gillette.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And that was the referee couldn't have had better position right
Two
there to make
flags
that
came
call.
in.
And those are the 50-50 balls that will cause those penalty flags out there. Definitely on a dangerous wide receiver like Mike.
So it'll be 1st and goal from about the 2.5 instead of 1st and goal from the 5. Gain that extra 6 feet.
First down, number 3.
Sterling quick to the line. Tight formation, Thompson under center. Backs are in tight, they give it to the big man, Jameer Richardson.
He might just got a yard.
And that's what you have to do at this point. If you don't get it this time, you're going to get it. With the push that you have up front, with Richardson, that basically takes people with him as he's running. Just got to hold on to the ball right now. Easier said than done, because the wet ball, the wet weather has definitely had an impact in the early part of this game.
2 hands on the ball. 2nd down and goal from about, we're going to call that about the 2-yard line. Handoff right up the middle. Is it Trey Potts? It is. Trey Potts
And on the stadium by number 5, Trayvon Potts.
for the touchdown. A 2-yard
Trey
touchdown
Potts, a
run by Trey
sophomore.
Potts.
Silver Knights.
Thought it was either
Banging it in there.
It was either Williams or Potts. It was hard to see who that was, but it is Trey Potts, and Sterling increases the lead now to 14-0.
The thing I like about this offense is the fact that you're seeing a lot of people involved, a lot of people making plays.
They're going to go for 2.
Sterling going for 2, and 2-point conversion fails, so the score will remain 14-0.
It's not a bad effort for Sterling. You're 2 scores up. Try get it, make it 3.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with how they're fighting off some adversity. And, you know, the offense is doing what they have to do. They sputtered a little bit. Guys, the impressive thing that I like is when the offense fumbled, turned the ball over, defense picked them up. And the other thing that's probably as impressive as anything I've seen on the defense side of the ball is what we're able to do up front. As you look at the replay right there, you see Potts go in from the right side. Nice job also. Some of these guys are going both ways on the offensive side of the ball, open up a hole. But, you know, when we guys in years past, when we played the Hadfields, the West Deptfords, the thing we struggled with was their athleticism up front on the defensive side. Well, I'm seeing that from Sterling right now, and I'm impressed with it. And you're seeing that from some younger players up front, and that was a big question we had, was how quickly would these guys develop? Well, they're answering the call.
Sterling leading this one by 2 touchdowns. They had the safety and a pair of touchdowns and failed conversions. And now Dylan Jess on to kick off. 4:50 remaining in the half. Low line drive kick taken at the 15. Right up the middle. Ball comes out again. Sterling saying they have it. This game is getting chippy, and now there's some punches thrown. No flags on the play yet. Punches were thrown by a Mustang, and I don't know how the officials missed that one.
Yeah, Triton's really coming on rattle right now.
We'll take another look at that. I am shocked that I did not see any penalty markers on that.
I think they might be talking about that. There's no flags to say about it, but they might.
All right, take a look at it here on our monitors. Ball definitely came out. And now after the play, to the right of the screen, here's where it started getting a lot out of control. And I think we had just missed, I could have sworn I saw a swing. Now the officials are meeting together at the 30-yard line.
I think they're going to be throwing out some Triton players soon.
Sean Coleman already has 2 unsportsmanlike penalties, and that was a drive into the turf by Sterling. So this one could be offsetting, or I don't know what they're going to do. We're waiting for word from the officials as to what's going on. The lead official has gone over the Triton sideline. Ball's definitely out there.
Off to the right, yeah, that's already, we saw some extra curricular activity.
Let's see if we can slow this down right about here. And it's going to come on the right-hand part of your screen. Is that, it's not Brandon Grace, 30, that's Shane L. Wow. Shane L. Wow. Puts him into the turf, and we'll keep an eye on it and see if he's actually on the field. Nonetheless, Triton back in action. They are looking to go deep. Ball hangs up in the air. Brandon Grace there to defend it away. Penalty marker comes in. Pass intended for Blake Stano, but that's going to be a penalty against Grace. Keep an eye on the field, gentlemen, for 36 in blue. His evening may be over. Shane L still on the sideline, right in front, to the right of Coach Harris on the sideline.
I think the coaches probably just pulled him out just to calm him down a little bit. I don't know if we didn't get any signal.
I did not see a marker. However, there is obviously a marker on the field
he's coming back
for pass interference. And here comes Shane L.
Calm down, talk to him.
This game has been chippy from the jump.
I don't think that refs don't appreciate that when you as a coach pull them aside,
coach him
Yeah,
up.
this is a game, you said, Rob, it's been chippy, and this early on in the game, that's tough. A tough game for referees to manage and keep control.
We've had pretty much every other play, there's been a penalty marker on the field. We see that a lot in the first game of the season. Pass interference penalty going to go against Sterling. We could have called that. Triton's going to decline it. There's a personal foul roughing the passer call, so they will take the 15 yards against Sterling. And I guess that was the delay for the call. I don't know about.
Did they say
the pass
it was
interference
two
is
different
obvious.
calls? Pass interference
and roughing the passer. Coleman did get hit, and maybe they're calling helmet to helmet. Nonetheless,
First down.
Grace did get the left-hand side. Coleman back to pass on first down. We're back to live action, and a short completion. And guess what? More laundry on the field.
Pass is completed, number 28, King.
Flag flown right at the feet of Trey Potts.
I think you might get a late hit there. The flag came in late.
Ball placed right now at the 30-yard line. Triton's going to back up. Sterling clapping, so this one's going to go against the Mustangs. It's going to be a hold.
And another good job, despite that, another good job by Sterling stopping that screen, that occasional screen. You go back to a young defense, kids playing for the first time. They're the types of plays you get overly aggressive, you bite on. So great discipline by Sterling on the defensive end. The two times Triton's attempted that screen.
And on top of it, a sideline warning against the Mustangs. Coleman back to pass on first down. He's going to keep himself, slips as he crosses the 20 down at the 22-yard line. No gain on the play. That brings up second down.
You know, another play where you can't just name one or two players. Great coverage downfield. Great job of cutting him off and forcing him back to the inside. You've got somebody there to make the play. I'm going to keep saying it and probably drive you crazy by repeating myself, but great team defense by Sterling, something we've seen throughout this entire first half.
Even if Coleman is able to escape that, Nasir Bell was right there in the face of Coleman for the tackle, regardless of whether or not he slipped. Second down and 17, ball at the 23-yard line. Just about 3.5 left to go in this 14-0 contest. Handoff off the left side. Big hit coming out of nowhere. There's the aforementioned Shane L. back into the game and making an impact for a short gain. What a hit.
Well, there's that acceleration we were talking about, returning the kickoff. Boy, when he gets upfield, he's like a missile coming in there on a back. And don't think backs, after you get hit like that, you're going to be running a little more tentative, looking to find out where Shane L. is anytime you get into that defensive backfield.
Gain of 1 brings up a 3rd and 16, under 3 to play in the half. Triton going to line up 3 wide receivers to the near side. Coleman under center, 1 back in the backfield. He's going to look right, trying to throw right. Coverage is good. Coleman's going to keep it himself, slips, and gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit more. And now a timeout on the field as Coleman is slow to get up.
Number 2, Sean Coleman.
And if you're a Mustang fan, that's not the person you want to see hobbling off the field. But a timeout on the field. Sterling, their first timeout comes at the 2:36 mark of the second quarter. Long first half.
Fourth down.
Tons of penalties if you're just joining us. And if you want to check out the highlights from this game and plenty as we kick off the 2019 fall sports season, we'll have them up for you on Sterling TV 19's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sterling TV 19. Plenty of highlights up there. Probably see that Shane L. hit on that highlight package.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of them this year. You know, that's something You saw a lot of him from last year. Led the team in tackles from the safety position. Safety position, you can have somebody like Shane L, who's almost like an extra linebacker coming up there and stopping the run. Well, that's a big advantage that Sterling has.
Some scores from around South Jersey tonight. End of first quarter, Haddonfield and Pleasantville tied at 0. Mr. K and Mr. Schulz, you will be happy to know, or not happy to know, that Pennsauken is beating your alma mater, Paul VI, 12-0. Lindenwold leading Maple Shade 7-6. As we are back to live action.
And another attempt at a punt by
And
Triton.
another fumble, and they're just going to eat it and fall on it and give Sterling amazing field position. Went over the head of Adrian Fred, the junior. And Sterling going to take over inside the 25 of the Mustangs.
Yeah, and that's just a bad snap. And I don't. Yeah. Yes. Triton's really shooting themselves in the foot. And, I mean, that time they're so deep in their own end, they had to try to attempt the punt. But anytime they're even past midfield, they're not going to even attempt it, I think, at this point.
Thompson under center, looking to pass. He's sacked in the backfield by guess who? Desan Parker, having himself a heck of a night, even though his team's trailing by a couple scores. What a player.
Yeah, and that's an area we talked about on the offensive end of the ball. Going into that Delran scrimmage, they had some trouble with the Delran defensive line, kind of blowing things up there in the middle, and we see that again from Triton.
Under 2 to go, second down, and we'll call it 17 from the 30. Thompson looking right, throwing right, has a man complete. And I believe that's Larry Williams.
Sterling's going on the quick huddle.
That's a pickup of about 9. It's going to be third down and a long 5.
And a good job of Thompson rolling out. You know, we talk about young quarterbacks. A lot of times they roll out. Any type of pressure they sense, they'll get rid of it quickly. Thompson right there did a great job allowing that play to develop and just having a knack for knowing what's going on downfield.
Thompson being pressured again, has a man complete to his favorite target in successive plays, and that's LJ.
And, you know, guys, I think Sterling wanted to establish that run early on in the game, but you're seeing a little bit of the dynamic aspect and potential that this Sterling team has on the offensive side of the ball.
I believe a timeout on the field. And it's an injury timeout, and I believe that is LJ Williams who is hurt. LJ Williams down right at about the 16-yard line on the near side.
Seems to be holding his hand.
A little stinger, perhaps. Here comes Sean Clank in the golf cart. And Sean Clank going to take a look at him here real quick. He's going to send him off the field. Sterling has 2 timeouts remaining and 68 seconds to work with on a 1st and 10 from about the 11. And whistles everywhere. I don't think the official was even ready for that one. Sterling was trying to catch Triton defensively off guard. Now everybody's set and ready. Thompson being pressured, eludes it, and it is incomplete.
Yeah.
Penalty marker again comes in. Intended target was Estremera again in the middle of the end zone.
Yeah,
very similar to the first touchdown, and I think you're going to get some pass interference here.
Well, I don't know. The flag that was thrown, I know on this side, I don't know if there was one in the defensive backfield. The one right here looked like along the offensive line.
Let's take another look at it here on our monitor.
Yeah, okay. Because I didn't see the flag I saw was here from way back. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
should be pass interference. You look right here. Look at.
Defender never turns around to make a play on the ball.
We'll get him into the picture right here, and
right when he's on him, just right there.
He was tackled before the ball got there. But the flag is right here, and it's like the second or third time we've seen flags being thrown
from weird directions.
Yeah, on the opposite side of where
they're waving it off. So no penalty on the play.
Wow, that's a tough no call right there, boy. Wow, that's a killer of a no call.
Vince Speakman is the one that tackled Estremera in the end zone, and everybody missed it. And again, another whistle as the pitch goes to Shane L. And there's a whistle every play.
Speakman had to be shocked that he didn't get the call. At that point, you're thinking, I can't find the ball. I'm just going to knock the guy down, figuring you're going to get pass interference, but no call.
The rain has subsided, but the penalties have not. And they're taking some time making all of these calls. This is a 42-minute quarter right now. First quarter, Kevin, went 18 minutes.
Penalties will do that to you. A couple injuries.
You would think that this game is like a 32-28 game right now, with as long as this takes. I don't know what they're waiting for now. The head officials talking to Dylan Jess. I have no idea what they could be talking about.
I like that officials can get together on certain plays to talk about it, make sure they get the call right, but it's almost like it's happening every penalty. Just taking a while.
They're going to reset the non-existent play clock. .102 back on the clock. What's happening? Nonetheless, second down. In trouble and being sacked in the backfield is Thompson by Deshaun Parker in a timeout on the field.
It's Parker again. I think you got to start thinking about double team. He's a guy where you got to know where he's at all times.
Seems like a man playing with boys out there. I mean, he is just
Parker.
Timeout Sterling.
Parker's
53
made
seconds
about 4
left.
plays that would have led to first downs or scores, and he's the one guy that's single-handedly keeping Triton a little bit alive in this game.
You want to get some updates on what's going on in Sterling TV 19? Plenty of stuff coming up here in the fall on Channel 19. Check us out on Twitter. It's twitter.com/Sterling TV 19, or just add him at Sterling TV 19. Coming soon, a Sports Center type show on Sterling TV 19. It's part of the sports broadcasting class that's running here. This new year, new class, new year, and we'll see if we can take all this fun sports production that we do and make ourselves ESPN
like a talk
anchors.
show or?
A little bit of everything. Meet the AD, talk to the AD once a week, a little bit of everything. So stay tuned for that. Updates.
I know you're excited about the possibilities and everything you can do with that class. So.
Can't wait.
Me too.
Because John's in it. Whether he likes it or not. 3rd and 15. And guess what? Another penalty.
And that's going to be on the Triton side. Or maybe not. It might be Shane L.
Nope, Triton backing up. This has been a slow, penalty-filled half. Sterling can still get a first down inside the 1. Thompson looking to pass, throwing left, has a man complete for the touchdown, and Estremera. An 11-yard touchdown strike to Estremera, his second of the game. Sterling adds to the lead 20-0.
Well, when you're having problems with the rolling out, the penetration of Parker in the backfield, anything that takes time to materialize, this is the best way to combat that. That's a 2-step drop, a quick slant to Estremera, and Thompson just put the ball right on the money to extend Sterling's lead to 20-0.
Sterling on to attempt the extra point. Dylan Jess on to attempt the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is a good one. Sterling going to lead this one 21-0 with 48 seconds left to go in the half. I'd like to welcome everybody listening and watching at home tonight on Channel 19. We are doing a 3-camera shoot tonight because of the weather. We didn't know what we were going to get, but thanks to our viewers for.
Our tech crew comes out and does a great job all the time. And through thick and thin, cold weather, damp weather, these guys really do the job.
Here's some of the views that we're looking at tonight. This is what we've got. We've got a ton of people up here. We've got PA people. We've got coaching staff, officials, a little bit of everybody up here, and somehow we managed to squeeze in 3 cameras.
And if you're missing some shots that we normally get, it's these obstructed views, but obviously with all the electronics and the camera, we got to keep everything dry. So doing the best we can. And Sterling right now starting to get on a little bit of a roll. I like right there what they did on the offensive end in response to what Parker's doing up front for Triton, just dominant, and they found a way to just take him out of the play. And you saw that quick slant from Thompson to Mike Estremera. Again, we go back to these guys playing together a long time. You could see that right there, the timing, the crisp throw to Estremera. And again, you see him make the catch and square the shoulders upfield and get in for 6.
Some early season chemistry between the two as Dylan Jess kicks it off. Short kickoff, bounces out of bounds.
And that's going to be a flag.
And why not? We almost went one whole play without a flag.
There's got to be something out there for most penalties in a game, in a high school game.
There's been a lot. Hopefully via the sports broadcasting class, we'll be able to keep stats on that. We'll get stats of this game, I'm sure, from the coaching staff after the game. And that's something we'll definitely have to talk to Coach Harris about and address in next week's game, which I believe is on the road for Sterling.
Next week is at Haddonfield, I'm pretty sure.
Sterling not back here until 2 weeks from tonight on the 20th. Triton in need of a score. They're down 21-0. And it's been all Sterling defense and another penalty marker.
Now, this is what you get a lot of times in that first game of the season. A lot of sloppiness, a lot of penalties.
Kevin, we've been doing games together for a very long time. Do you remember an opener that has had this many penalties?
No.
I mean, this
is definitely excessive.
From the varsity level.
Yep.
One of the Sterling players are down. I don't know who.
Down at about the 34-yard line. While we tend to the injured Knight on the field, we'll take a listen to Sterling Silver Knights Radio. Latest sporting news, events, best music from 60s to today. Some live school events coming up later on in the year. Follow them at Knights Radio on Twitter. That is Jacob Johnson. Gingerly gets up and will hobble back. Here we are, Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood here giving you all the action here on Channel 19 for the home opener here from Sterling High School. Glad you joined us here on Channel 19. Kevin, a really sloppy game so far defensively with the penalties, but Sterling really clicking and capitalizing on Triton mistakes.
Yeah, and I think if you want to look at a positive, you got to like the way Sterling's fought through it. You know, there's times where, boy, that tough break, you had the ball twice running around the goal line, and you didn't score. You know, lesser teams might have laid down, but Sterling's really gotten at it and got themselves into this position.
Pass incomplete. That's Coleman looking to the near side for Caserta. And they cannot connect. Triton cannot get anything going. Not only have they committed a lot of penalties, they turned the ball over, frustration penalties. And Jacob Johnson getting some work done before the half here.
And at this point, you're looking about, if you're Sterling, coaches probably think, what we're going to say to the guys at half, well, you want to have a cleaner second half. You want to improve in some things because this is a stepping stone of what you need to do next week. And obviously, you need to do a lot more. You need to be a lot better. You're going to need to be a lot better against a Haddonfield team. Maybe not as good as they were last year, but Haddonfield still brings a lot to the table.
Braden King rushes ahead for a nice sizable gain by the freshman just shy of the 40-yard line, and a timeout. Triton with 31 seconds left to go in the half. Another timeout on the field. And we're going to get off to a quick break, 30 seconds. We'll be right back right after this. Nothing Sterling. Pair of touchdown passes to Mike Estremera from Jeremiah Thompson. And a TD run by Trey Potts and a safety. And that's all the scoring. Triton's going to pick up a first down here with 25 seconds remaining. And they're going to take another timeout. They are now out of timeouts.
First down, timeout taken by Triton.
And this has been about as slow as a first half as we've ever seen, Kevin, with only 21 points on the board.
Yeah. This is definitely taking forever.
And you mentioned Haddonfield coming up next, the reigning South Jersey Group 2 champions, and you're going to Haddonfield. Not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination.
And it's not only, they were the top team in South Jersey, not only Group 2, but in all South Jersey. Won that state bowl game. Lost 22 out of 24 starters, but they're like West Stafford, Paulsboro. They seem to reload. You know, again, like we talked about, maybe not going to be as good as last year, but.
Coleman is hit just shy of the 50-yard line. And I think Triton's content with just letting this one run down unless they hustle to the line for a play. I don't think they're going to get a play off as we're under 5 seconds left to go. And this first half will finally come to an end. Sterling, offensively and defensively, will take a 21-0 lead into the locker room. We'll be back with second half action on Channel 19 right after this.
Do you want to know when your event is going to be broadcasted on Sterling TV 19? Do you want to see highlights of the latest sporting events? Then go follow Channel 19's Twitter page at Sterling TV 19.